Traffic Incident Response Awareness Week. Murfreesboro Police, Smyrna Police, Rutherford County Sheriff's deputies, and Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers focused on the Move Over and Hands-Free Driving Law during the 3-hour evening Friday, sponsored by the Rutherford County Traffic Safety Task Force. This operation was created to remind drivers to move over when they see emergency responders working on the side of the road and to reinforce the hands-free driving law. During the Operation Move Over, a distracted driver struck a parked sheriff's car while the deputy was helping control traffic due to a separate crash. Tennessee Highway Patrol reported that the driver admitted to using his phone and did not see the vehicle parked with its emergency lights on. These crashes can be avoided. THP Lieutenant John Officer said this is a reminder that all it takes for a bad situation to happen is one distracted driver to possibly cause a tragic crash. If you can't move over, at least slow down when you pass emergency vehicles. The deputy was not involved in the crash and the driver suffered minor injuries. 3 different driving awareness checkpoints will be held Friday to try and slow the rising number of traffic deaths this year in Rutherford County. This year, 40 people have lost their lives in traffic accidents as opposed to the 23 this time last year. To try and combat the rising death totals, the Sheriff's Office is sponsoring 3 awareness checkpoints on Friday night to remind drivers to obey traffic laws. The checkpoints will be in 3 different high-traffic areas, 8 to 9 p.m. on Shelbyville Highway at Christiana Middle School, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. on New Nashville Highway, and 11 p.m. to midnight on Rutherford Boulevard near MTSU. And Tennessee has many rich histories, and one of them occurred right here in the city of Murfreesboro.
You may have been near Cemetery, Tennessee, and did not know it. But for the ones who are aware, know that this land provided stability for African-American freed slaves.
What stands behind me might look like a vacant house to some. However, for the Malone family, that's definitely not the case.
I am a proud descendant of a slave.
The once thriving community known as Cemetery was settled shortly after the end of the Civil War.
The Malone blood runs deep in the soil of Cemetery, as do so many other who were enslaved men and women who decided to make Cemetery, Tennessee their home.
Third-generation slave descendant Edith Clark Moore is the granddaughter of former slave fighter Sanders Mel Malone, who used trees, stones, and his man-made cement to build his home.
Many of you all have, I know a few of you, that have ever played in that yard down the road, ate in that house, went to sleep in a bed in that house that we call home. There's a couple of them, that's exactly right, because our house used to be the neighborhood house for all the kids in the neighborhood.
Home to a thriving community of over 30 families is now at stake because of a deed dilemma.
Most people, be honest with you, most people just see an old shack. You don't see an old shack, do you?
No.
You see a home. You see a home place, right?
Despite struggles to preserve the land, community activists and leaders are raising awareness for Cemetery, Tennessee.
Well, if we don't act, this building's not going to be here another year or 2. She wants to preserve it. It's going to be a challenge, but you got to have a thing called faith. You got to have faith, and it's got to start somewhere.
And the start to making this place historical is here in the city of Murfreesboro. Now home to thousands of citizens, was home to tens of freed slaves.
That's why this land is so important to Rutherford County and to the history of this state and to the history of this country, because we fought for it, we died for it, and we lived on it, and we prospered.
The Malone family is working hard to preserve this historic piece of land. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, the Child Advocacy Center is raising awareness for child abuse and internet crimes, and several schools in the surrounding counties are adjusting to how their students will learn in the future. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. The Child Advocacy Center for Rutherford and Cannon counties are raising awareness for child abuse and internet crimes through November 19th. The organization is encouraging adults to recognize the signs of child exploitation through 16 partnerships. Rutherford County Sheriff's Detective Patty Oser gave a story about a child case from Rutherford County. Kendall Carter had exploited a 12-year-old girl for graphic photos of herself and even threatened to expose her. Oser says she believes COVID-19 has caused more children to face internet exploitation. And another Rutherford County elementary school is temporarily making a shift to distance learning. McFadden Elementary School will not number of staff members. Acknowledged that this switch to distance learning may be an inconvenience to parents, but ultimately stated that they have no other options because of the circumstances. In-person classes will not resume until December 1st. According to an official statement, the school will be thoroughly cleaned while it is closed. The Coldwell Barnes Bank hosted a ribbon cutting on November 10th. Coldwell announced the rebranding with a legacy of excellence and a new logo. The banker has been in the industry for 114 years. The company president, Tom Pierce, stated that the new Coldwell Banker logo is simple and sleek. The new logo bears the letter CB with a star. Pierce stated that the star represents the North Star, and Pierce stated that there will be a new look and new name, but still the same great agents. This year marked the 24th annual Veterans Day celebration held on the Rutherford County Square. The celebration, which took place in front of the historic courthouse, saw a good-sized crowd of people even in spite of less than perfect weather that came through in the morning. Barbara Smith Pitto took over the reins of directing the event this year and is the third director to oversee it in the 24 years of it being hosted. The event featured several guest speakers and seek to bring honor and remembrance to the veterans and members of the military, past and present, who have given so much to this country throughout its history. One local Murfreesboro restaurant will stay open after previously stating they were closing their doors for good. The Murfreesboro City Cafe is staying open. The restaurant has been a part of Murfreesboro community for the last 120 years. City Cafe is owned by Roland and Teresa Kellogg. The Kellogg's say COVID-19 was the reason their establishment almost shut their doors forever. The Kellogg's initially made a post on the City Cafe Facebook page asking patrons to come support the restaurant's last day of operation. The owners have set up a GoFundMe page where people can make donations to the City Cafe. Middle Tennessee News will have more information on this story later in the week. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, after this break, I'll be back with our full weather report. Stay tuned.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Back to Middle Tennessee News. Outside is finally starting to look and feel like fall. Today our high is a cool 60 degrees with a low of 38. There's a slight wind at just 3 miles per hour throughout the day. Into the night we're going to see the temperature stay in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tomorrow is going to be a bit cooler, so break out the jackets as the high is going to be 58 degrees and a much lower temperature towards the night at 28 degrees. Wind is also going to pick up as we see it hit up to 11 miles an hour. On Wednesday, the weather is going to jump back up just a bit as the high is a nice 60 degrees and the low is 37. As the week keeps going, the weather is going to continue to rise. Thursday is going to hit 63 degrees and the low is going to be a not too bad 41 degrees. We'll also see a bit more wind throughout the day as it hits the mid-teens. As we get towards the end of the week, you can go ahead and put those jackets away as it hits the upper 60s into the low 70s. Friday's high is a nice 68 degrees and the low being 44 degrees into the night. Saturday we're going to see that 70-degree day with a low of 57. While the temperature is rising, so is the chance of rain. The rest of the weekend we'll see a decrease in wind as we get ready for possible rain. We've got a 20 to 40% chance of rain towards the end of the week and into next, with some showers starting and ending the days. When we come back, Nathan Vaughn is over in the MTN Sports Den. He'll have your full sports report after the break. Stick around for Middle Tennessee News.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. MTSU finally returned to the football field on Saturday after COVID-19 issues postponed the Raiders matchup versus Charlotte last week. The game marked the 50th anniversary since the deadly Marshall plane crash, and that emotion helped drive the Thundering Herd as they took on MTSU. Starting off here with a rare mistake from Reed Blankenship on the kickoff as he muffs the punt, giving Marshall great field position. And they're going to go ahead and score here as Grant Wells is going to find his man in the back of the end zone for an early lead. Now coming up here, we're going to have Asher O'Hara. He's going to try and knot the game up here at 14 under pressure, but he's going to lose the ball here. And Marshall, they're going to scoop it up and recover it here for another big turnover. MT had 3 turnovers in this game. And how about this play coming up here from Corey Gamage? He's going to make a tiptoe catch, bobble it, but he's going to maintain possession to put the Herd up 14 at halftime. Now, second half, let me tell you, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Wells loaded up. Who else? Corey Gamage. He's going to make another crazy catch here for another Marshall lead here to put them up 21. And for the finishing touches, here it comes. This time it's going to be Willie Johnson. He's playing a horse with Gamage as he's also going to tiptoe on the sideline here to make the touchdown, and that would put it away. Grant Wells finishes with 5 touchdowns as the Herd roll all over MTSU 42-14. The loss moves MTSU down to 2-6 on the season, and now the Blue Raiders will turn its attention to the second battle for the Palladium of the 2020 season as the team heads to Troy this week. The Troy Trojans ran all over the Blue Raiders in the second game of the year for MT. Troy won that contest by a score of 47-14. However, Troy did have to postpone its game last week versus Coastal Carolina due to a COVID and injury issue on the team. Well, now moving from the gridiron to the golf course, Houston Chapman has this week's Blue Raider Spotlight from MTSU Golf. Well, I guess Houston's package couldn't be here for us today. Well, unfortunately, we won't be able to get you the Blue Raider Spotlight, but that will be our show for today. Thank you for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Nathan Vaught with Christy Jones. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media sites as well, Facebook/Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter. We'll see you for this next week's show.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.